Good afternoon, lovely people. Welcome to another video. As you may have noticed, there's something slightly different about this video. I have a microphone. Also, we are outside. I have literally wanted to film out here. I have my dog with me, by the way. PSA, he's very loud and big and annoying. For example. Aww. We'll just edit around his barking. I have wanted to film here. This is the walk that's just at the end of my house. And I've literally wanted to film here for so long. And here I am. Finally managed to do it. Despite me literally having a moon boot on, I was like, today's the day, we're gonna do it. I don't care if the 15-minute walk takes 30. I'm getting there. I'm lugging all my books and everything with me. And we're filming this gosh forsaken video. And it's also really cute. I like the idea of filming outside. Like, I have a full-on forest right at my doorstep. My whole theme is nature. Let's get to it, man. Let's, use it. You're also very, very precariously balanced on a post, I guess. Like a long ways post. Not like a fence. I guess like a leaning thing. Even if you fall forwards, man, there's a river behind you and a drop to get to that river. So basically, if you fall, remember, I'm in a moon boot. It's going to be an interesting situation getting you back. So we're just praying that that doesn't happen. I live in New Zealand, and that is the southern hemisphere, obviously, for those people who don't know where New Zealand is, which means it is autumn, and I'm in denial about it being autumn. I have basically spent the last 6 months being summer. I had summer in Canada, summer in America, then I was moving down the equator as it got colder up the top. So I was summer in Canada, summer in America, then winter in Mexico, but it was 25 degrees. And then flew back home to New Zealand, summer in New Zealand. So it's been a really long summer for me, and I don't want to give that up. But I have to come to some sort of acceptance that it is autumn. It's no longer summer, it's getting rainier, it's getting colder, the sun is setting earlier. And to put myself in the right frame of mind, to fully accept that it's autumn and then winter, dear Lord, it just keeps going. I have accumulated or curated some autumn-themed books that will hopefully allow me to come to terms with the fact that it is now autumn. I see all the girlies on Bookstagram, Pinterest, TikTok, spring vibes, here's my cute spring outfits. Hate you all. I don't. I actually do quite like autumn, and I like wearing warmer outfits. I really profusely hate sweating, but I also hate the wind and the rain. I just like to be at a good temperature. Yeah. So here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that are going to get me into the autumn mindset. Curate the vibe. Starting off strong with the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. This book here is all 3 books. I don't quite know how, because when I've read Lord of the Rings before, the books were this thick for one of them. So I'm like, what kind of sorcery is this? Whoa! I've actually just looked at it for the first time. Look at how small the handwriting is. Never mind. It makes total sense. But my first book is Lord of the Rings. And I guess by association, The Hobbit, any of J.R.R. Tolkien's books are probably going to get you in that right vibe, right energy. I love Lord of the Rings. I used to work at Hobbiton. I worked there for ages, on and off, during COVID and stuff. And I loved it. It was one of my favorite places I've ever worked. And to be fair, I would love to go back there and work. But I live in the South Island of New Zealand now. And yeah, I think, I don't actually even know what about these books is really autumny, but I feel like they're very cozy. They have the right aesthetic of the swords and the elves and the hobbits and the big mission and everything like that. And also the clothes, of course, are very autumnal. Yeah, I just really think that this is a very good book for getting you in the mindset of autumn. They feel like a book you should read in autumn, to be completely honest. So that is why I'm starting off this list with the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Next, I would say is pretty classic, Dracula by Bram Stoker. I've never seen this edition before. It looks very modern arty of it. I've never read Dracula. I actually really don't know anything about the story other than Hotel Transylvania, really, and Twilight. I have no other knowledge of of any vampire Dracula lore. So I think this is going to be fun. It's very, very, very autumn coded. Yeah, this is one of the books I would say that you think of when you think of like reading, maybe not in a cozy sense, because I'm not so much of a cozy reader, but it is one of the like books that I would think of when I think of autumn. So Dracula by Bram Stoker. Should I read the backs? I feel like I should be reading the back, just to let you all know. Okay, I'm going to read the back of this one as well. Sauron, the Dark Lord, has gathered him the
Oh my god.
Sauron, the Dark Lord, has gathered to him the rings of power, the means by which he will be able to rule the world. All he lacks in his plan for domination is the ruling ring, which has fallen into the hands of Hobbit Bilbo Baggins. In a sleepy village in the Shire, young Frodo Baggins finds himself faced with an immense task, as the ring is entrusted to his care. He must leave his home and make a perilous journey across the realms of Middle-earth to the Crack of Doom?
Huh?
Never heard of that before. To the Crack of Doom, deep inside the territories of the Dark Lord. There he must destroy the ring forever and foil the Dark Lord in his evil purpose. Does it come with a map? Please tell me you come with a map. Am I supposed to know what anything is? The Lord of the Rings doesn't come with a map? Hello? Weird. Here's the back for Dracula. Handsome Jonathan Harker is warned not to go to Count Dracula's castle, but he ignores the danger and is plunged into a nightmare. Soon, Dracula is hunting down Jonathan's beloved wife Mina. The vampire must be destroyed or the young lovers will end up his victims. Okay, that's not what I thought this was going to be about, but fair enough. After this, I don't really know if it screams autumn, but I have The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. I watched the TV show, loved it. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. There's swords. It's fun. You know, whatever they do. I don't actually know what they do in the story, because I know the show. But yeah, I think it's pretty autumnal. If out of my physical TBI, it's definitely one of the more autumnal books. I just love swords, I think is actually my kind of thing. Swords and sword fighting and just being a little camp. Like being a hobbit's camp. About as camp as they can get. And what's the other one? Dracula? Camp. So, like, look at these guys. Look at those guys. That's camp. What the hell? The Three Musketeers, the first of all romantic cloak and dagger novels. There you go, autumn in a nutshell, is the dashing story of the young Gascon D'Artagnan and the three inseparables, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis of King Louis VIII's musketeers. Foolhardy, headstrong, and infinitely susceptible, D'Artagnan triumphs on the dueling ground and at the court by virtue of his Gascon wits and courage. Sounds fun. Next, this is probably the most on-theme book in this whole collection. Keep calling them three graphic novels. Three gothic novels by Penguin Classics. It's got 3 books in this one book. We've got The Castle of Otranto by Walpole, Vathek by Beckford, and Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I think the fact that this has Frankenstein in it is really what's selling it for me. I love Mary Shelley. I think she's so cool. Like, the fact that a woman was the inventor of, I can't even think of the word, gothic stories, I guess. But she's a cool person. I really think she's very cool. I'm very excited for this. I'm like a few pages in, but I think I'm gonna have to start again because I kind of gave up. It's been a busy few days. And also, I'm on a mission to kind of read books that I wouldn't usually read, and I definitely wouldn't usually read these kind of books. So I think this is going to be a very good push in the right direction for that. And also, like a gothic novel in autumn. What's more autumn? Not much. So, yeah. And don't you worry, I will be adding all 3 of these to my Goodreads, not just one book, because I just read 3 that just happened to be bound together. So, not my problem. And then, last but not least on the list is actually my current read, but I haven't read it in a couple days because I went home for graduation, and then I graduated, and then I came home, and we arrived at like 10:30 at night, and then I had work the next day, and now I've had work today. And also it's not that interesting, but it does fit with the aesthetic still. It is Hellish Nell by Malcolm Gaskill. This is the cover. I didn't read you the back. The back of this is not very exciting. The Gothic novel, which flourished from about 1765 until 1825, revels in the horrible and the supernatural, in suspense and exotic settings. Fantastic. There you go. That's the back. This this book is about the curious case of Britain's last witch trial, which in theory is very cool, and I think it is a book worth reading. Like, is it taking a long time to be a book that's worth reading? Yes. I'm going to finish it. I'm on page 117 out of, I think there's 450 or something. So I will be finishing it. It's just taking its sweet time for me to get into it, and that's fine. But yeah, it's a book about the last witch trial in Britain, which is really cool and interesting. I do actually want to learn more about the witch trials. The topic upsets me more than I think I realized. So I listened to an audiobook about some witch trials, and basically I got up to the point where I real like you could full on feel the main preacher guy gaslighting people into killing women because they didn't want to listen to him. And I was just like, yeah, I can't do this. This is really sad. And literally, I think because of that, I would like to learn about them even more. It might just take its time. I don't think she died because of this, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so this is a really good book for something that I want to expand my knowledge on, and also very fitting for the theme, which is amazing. In 1944, Helen Duncan, known as Hellish Nell, became the last person in Britain to be convicted under the Witchcraft Act. She was notorious for her dramatic seances and uncanny predictions until she came to the attention of intelligence services. Was she a fraud, a martyr, a security risk, or something else altogether? Yeah, the clocks went back the other day, and so it has been getting a lot darker, a lot earlier. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I really like filming outside. I think that's really fun. The issue is, it is becoming autumn, so it's gonna get rainier and wetter, and therefore it's gonna be a little harder to film outside. But I have enjoyed it today, and this has been lovely. I don't know if you guys can hear the river behind you, but there's a very big river that my dog's currently swimming in. Yeah, and it's really, I just think the vibes are immaculate when you film outside. I hope you've all enjoyed. If it's autumn for you, maybe these books will kind of get you more into the swing of things. If it's spring, fuck you. Don't mean it, but kind of do. But I hope you enjoyed the fact that it's going to be summer soon. Yeah, if you enjoyed, subscribe, like, comment, whatever. All my social medias will be down below. If you enjoy me talking, or you want to see any more content, that would be for my Instagram, because as I post there every single day. I'm a fiend. Yeah, so if you want to see more of this, that's where to go. But I hope that you enjoyed.